Are we on the air?
You're now in the mix with The Corner Radio, hosted by Kill, banging nothing but classic hip-hop, soul, and R&B.
What's good, what's good, what's good? Y'all tuned into The Corner Radio with your man Kill. Got my R&B Co-op up here, JR and Kaye. What's going on, y'all?
Hello. How are you today?
Look at this, look at this. Well,
oh no.
This is our first joint. This is our first video podcast. Prayerfully, if you've been rocking with me in the Writer's Bench, we used to do them every week. But truth be told, the video, the editing, and everything like that is time consuming. So that's why with The Corner, we were just snatching the audio. But me, Kay, and JR, you know, we shopping up one week and we was like, yo, we got to do some type of video. So even if it's just once a month or every now and then, or when we have guests on, you got to see the facial expressions, because that's half the funniest thing on the show. I mean, prayerfully, y'all listening, y'all laugh. But when you see us talking and the looks that we have on our faces, it's going to make the show extra dope. So this is our first video podcast, so you should already know the crew. But now that you can see us, Kay, why don't you introduce yourself for the people?
Hello out there in internet radio land. My name is Kay, and I'm not an R&B thug like they say. I just want to point that out. I'm not an R&B thug, not at all. I just want to point out that the camera is not showing on me again. I just want to point that out too. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you good. You good money over here, Kay. You good money. JR, what's good?
I can't see it on my end. Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to
I thought it was on me though, but Kay not finished it there.
JR, what's good with you? Introduce yourself, bro.
I'm JR. I'm a soulful head, but I'm the young buck, so you know how that is. But yeah, I love soul music, man. So I love doing this with y'all. So you know what I'm saying. So
all right, no doubt, no doubt. And just for a little background, me and Kay went to Morgan State, so I've known this shorty since '92, 20 plus years. Me and JR linked up on Twitter just for our love of music and started kicking it. And now we're here. So for today's show, we're going to get into it. One of the jokes about me on here is Kay is always talking about, I got to Google everything. You know, and I'm getting old, so I do got to Google a lot. But today's show comes from the Luther Vandross box set. If people remember, Luther had the Best of Luther, the Best of Love box set. And inside, you got Aretha, Dion, and Arsenio. They kind of wrote something up on this. And I remember reading this when I was a kid. And Arsenio started off saying, I've often asked my guests what album they would choose if they were stranded on a deserted island. So ever since then, I've always kind of had that concept in mind of, you know, for me, you got your 5 mic classics, but then you got something that's even above the 5 mic classic. It's that deserted island. You've heard me say it before. If you got to drive from Philly to Atlanta and back, what's that one album? And some of my 5 mic albums, I may not even take on that ride with me. So today's show is about the 5 albums you would take with you if you were stuck on a deserted island. So Kay, the R&B thug, what is your first album? Off the top of the head, BX style, what's your first album?
I don't like the way I'm being portrayed on here today. I want you guys to know what I'm not. And I don't know why I'm being portrayed that way. So, what you laughing for, JR? So, the first album I'm going to take is Avery Sunshine with her 2010 CD entitled Avery Sunshine. She has some bangers in there, All in My Head, Ugly Part of Me. I think all women need to listen to that song because there's a message in there because we've all been there. Pining. Just that whole CD is bananas. So she's gonna rock with me, and that's in my music collection. Kill. I didn't have to Google anything. So
all right, no doubt, and I appreciate that, and I look forward to this show just to hear what people are gonna say. You schooled me to Avery Sunshine, you know, just because you always talking about it. So I peeped the stuff. I've never actually got a chance to listen to that album. I'm definitely dig into that joint. JR, what's your first joint that you got for your deserted island joint?
The Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. And for me, you know, that definitely give me some jazz on there. So you getting some of the James McGruff where We Got Jazz, and I'm getting a little bit of the Glover Washington Jr. on Check the Rhyme. So I'm like getting a couple of different genres, but I'm also getting hip hop. So if I had to pick all hip hop, I mean, my favorite is Ready to Die, but if I was on a stranded island, I would have had to do Low End Theory. So I had to pick that. What? I thought this was mine.
What's your
this ain't got
fun?
nothing to do with you. This
He
was
said,
my
what's your
list.
fun? You went to like 5 or 6. You know
I
what?
didn't. No, I
Why is director go like this? When I do this right here, shut it up.
That's what you not gonna do. I didn't even do nothing on yours. How you gonna diss mine?
Because I just
kosher.
I follow the instructions. It's your show. You JR Mike. Done now.
Anyway,
You keep off the quiet.
I would choose the Low End Theory. Thank you. Oh God.
But you also said Ready to Die and all this other stuff.
What? To you, Kay. To you.
You done got him drinking in the first 5 minutes, Kay. Come on, y'all.
Already, y'all.
The first 5 minutes.
He been drunk. He ain't got no job. He been drunk.
Come on, y'all. I already proved that I had my job. You know it.
What's your album, Kill?
I know you're not gonna let her direct the show like this. I know you're not gonna let her direct the show like she running this.
Yo, it's Sunday.
Drink my coffee now. What?
Come on, y'all. Come on. We just had Tia on. Do we gotta bring her back for more counseling for how to communicate? All right, y'all. All right. So my first joint, we going with Prince's Purple Rain. For the past week and a half, all I've been banging is Prince, a little bit of Beyonce here and there, but 90% Prince. And the thing is I think Purple Rain is an incredible album. I think it's a perfect album. I think in the past I've kind of not been scared to say it's my favorite Prince album because that's what everybody says because it's his biggest album. But sometimes somebody's biggest album is also their best album, you know. And if I was stranded, Sign of the Times has always been my go-to joint for Prince. But just listening to Prince, man, these songs, I'm still listening to Baby I'm a Star like it just came out. You know, I Would Die for You, The Beautiful Ones, Darling Nikki.
That's right. Woo!
You know, Let's Go Crazy. I mean, the song, I just never get tired of listening to anything on Purple Rain. So definitely, if I'm stuck on a deserted island, Purple Rain is gonna hold me down for a bit. Kay, what's your second joint?
So my second joint, I think, is JR's birth year. It came out in 1998. But it came out in 88. I just wanted to crack that joke. So I would pick EPMD, Strictly Business. That joint is a classic. You can't say enough about them. 88 was that year where I think hip-hop, rap music just took such an ill turn with the direction it was going. You know, you had Kane come out then, and he was just rocking, and EPMD took the world by storm. And that's when radio was radio, and you know, you rock these joints. Strictly Business, I'm housing, You Got to Chill, It's My Thing. I could go on and on. Jane, and you know, after a while the Jane sequels got kind of corny, but the first Jane joint, everybody was like, oh man, you know, they were just bananas. So EPMD, Strictly Business, that's in my car right now, so I gotta ride with that.
Yo, Strictly Business, man. I've got this story. It was me and my man Lord Cross, man. We in 7th grade, we downtown. We don't have enough money to buy 2 albums. They got Jungle Brothers was out, EPMD, Strictly Business was out. He was like, yo, I'm going to buy one, you buy one, and then we just going to switch off or whatever. And I can't remember what, I think I brought EPMD and he brought the Jungle Brothers, and then he wanted to trade, and I was like, nah, bro, I can't. You know, I'm going to have to renege on this, bro. I can't get rid of this EPMD, man. And he was like, nah, Jungle Brothers is dope. I'm like, yo, I'm not saying they aren't, but I'm just saying, I can give up this D joint right here, like this joint. And the thing with EPMDK, and I know you know, is just the videos. Like for You Guys to Chill, seeing Steezo doing the Steve Martin dance, and it was everything about EPMD. It wasn't just the music; it was the visuals. The album cover I love to this day, just them being in the studio and everything. And like you said, Jane was crazy. Like the whole haircut, like Anita Baker, looked up. Baker, like these dudes was just so smooth, but they was hard because they was talking about shooting niggas too. Don't get it twisted. They was talking, you know, some rah-rah, but they was just so smooth with it. And
They
the
was so
thing
nonchalant about it. Everything was so nonchalant, like it was nothing. Like, yeah, you know. And so that just brought their sound.
And the funny thing to me was Eric's lisp, because in Strictly Business, he said he drives a Corvette. I drive a Samurai Suzuki. I didn't understand that line for years. I was like, I don't know what this nigga drives, but he drive a Corvette. He drives something else, because that nigga. I'm like, oh, I don't know what this nigga drives. He drives something, but I don't know. But and I think that was so fly too, because that was the first time I ever heard somebody with a lisp. Like, I never heard nobody in the street with a lisp before. So he was dope. You know, the whole Green Eye Bandit thing going on. So yeah, I definitely feel you on Strictly Business. You can't go wrong with that. JR, what you got up next?
Off the Wall by Michael.
Okay.
I'm going with that because I always feel like that's Michael's best, in my opinion. I do, because musically it's like it's ridiculous, like disco, R&B, soul, funk. And I think everybody kind of go to Thriller because it was kind of like the biggest thing ever. But I'm like, I always say Thriller was kind of more the visuals, more than the music, in my opinion. So Off the Wall, I love it. And then I didn't get to put Stevie on my list. And y'all know he wrote I Can't Help It. So that was, you know, so that added a little bit of Stevie to the mix. And I mean, Michael gives you vocals on She's Out of My Life. So that's my joint. And I can always get my groove on with, you know, Get on the Floor, Off the Wall, Burn This Disco Out, Working day and night. So Off the Wall is just amazing, like from the beginning to end. So I had to throw that on there.
Yeah. Off the Wall is crazy to me. I prefer the Thriller. It's actually my favorite Mike album. The joint I love on it that's so slept on is the Fall in Love. I love that.
With Patti Smith.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And I want to say I started liking that song off like a Ron G tape or some SNS tape or some blend tape. I know it was one of them New York DJs that had the Fall in Love under something else. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. The funny thing, JR, you coming to the crib to hit these hard drives, man. I've got 5 of the Off the Wall sessions on Pro Tools.
Hey, Kai, how you doing?
Did
I get invited over? It was just JR.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You've been invited over. You've been invited over, okay?
I missed the memo. Mm-hmm.
Now, you ain't missed the memo. You already know, okay? But, yo, I got the Pro Tools session, so you can hear Mike, you can hear just the bass, you could solo out anything you want to hear.
I'm going to need to hear that. Yeah, yo,
like
you
I said,
be holding, yo, like for real.
They Pro Tools sessions, so they huge, so you got to come over. That's the only thing, man. You got to come through.
All right, I'm in there.
All right, no doubt. My next joint, because I was kind of looking at this like, if I'm stuck on an island, I got 5 joints. I got to kind of pick joints from different, you know, eras and everything like that. So the first, like Kay, going back to 80, I got to go with PE's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. This joint right here is just, I mean, Bring the Noise, Don't Believe the Hype, Cold Lamper with Flavor, Terminator X to the Edge of Panic, even Caught Can We Get a Witness, Show 'Em What You Got, Night of Living Bassheads, Black Still Now with Chaos, Rebel Without a Pause. Like, that whole album to me was just bonkers. You know what I mean? Just the Bomb Squad sound, just Chuck D, you know, had me being militant. Like, y'all don't even know, they used to call me Kill X in high school. Like, it was like, yo, I was like the Black History guru in my high school. I debated my Black History teacher in one debate, man. Like, I was Kill X. Like, I was pro-black, all because of Chuck D, man. Y'all laughing, this is the honest to God truth. Y'all ask anybody, I used to have the African medallions and everything. I had the Malcolm X bag. Yo, I was yeah, B, and I was nice with it, man. I was nice with the knowledge of self, man. I was all right, man. I was all right. And the craziest thing about Chuck, and it's a true to God story, he's the reason why I never sold drugs, man. Never. Did a lot of other scams in my life, but never sold drugs. I was like, yo, how can I be listening to Night of Living Bassheads and go out here and sell drugs? You know, no disrespect to my moms or my grandmother, anybody else watching, like, Dad, we ain't play a part in that. They did, but it was just Chuck D's message. What I'm trying to say is his message was so loud that it made me want to stay at least as close to the straight and narrow as I could get. And I don't want to beat a dead horse. I wish we had more MCs doing that nowadays for kids. I think we're getting that with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, but you know, Chuck just had that voice, just made you want to do right. So that's my next joint. Kay, what you got up next?
So I'm going to turn the tide right now, and I'm going to pick a gospel album because
Shirley C's on tap.
That's how I do. It's about me and Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. So
Shirley C's on tap.
Nah, Shirley Murdoch. The gospel album. So I would pick Kirk Franklin, "The Fight of My Life." That CD, so dope. He gave you such a mixture. He gave you that traditional church hype man type groove with his song "I Like Me," which is such a hard track. Like, the first time I heard it, I was dancing to it, and then I realized that he was talking about liking himself because Jesus likes him, and I was like, really? Oh, this is kind of dope. But it is so hard. It's so official. And then he has, I mean, like, you know, the more traditional songs that he would do, like "He Will Supply." Got a cute little one, Jesus, like all the little kids at church, you know, they sing that song. It's just such a dope CD. It gives you a mixture. So on the island and grandma with you, grandma ain't gonna be like, oh my God, they're going to hell. What is that? You know, it got a little he got Rance Allen on there. You know, all the old women love Rance Allen. So you got Rance Allen on there singing with him. So it's a dope CD. So I would definitely take that with me, as well as my Bible, just to read and focus on God.
Amen. Amen.
What is going on today? You went to church today, right? That's okay. Cool. Good. All right. I got it. I'm like, okay. Nah. The funny thing about Kirk, so many people sleep on Kirk, man. Kirk is so dope, man. He is so dope. He has one of the best discographies, in my opinion, like on the low that most folk don't know about. Because I almost feel like it's this thing, like you like gospel and that's it. You can't like nothing else. So there's a lot of folk who, I know folks who feel like they can't even listen to Kirk Franklin. It's almost like how, like, you got them friends like, yo, I can't go to church. You know how much stuff I done type thing. So they don't even listen to Kirk. But I always tell people, Kirk got one of the dopest discographies, truth be told, in the game. I mean, I can't think of one Kirk Franklin CD that I could be like, yo, I don't like it or it wasn't good. And Fight of My Life is definitely a dope one.
Yeah, that's a dope CD. And the funny thing about Kirk is that, unlike a lot of gospel artists who have done what he's done, he gets better with time with it. You can tell, like, his growth, his maturity. I mean, you know, that's always the thing you hear in church, like, you know, your walk. You can tell how he's grown. And The Fight of My Life kind of came out after, you know, he was in an accident. And remember, he had to learn to walk and all of that stuff again. So to me, it's just like so poignant, the title, like The Fight of My Life, because if you ever hear him talk about that time in his life, having to do things over again, and just like this epiphany he had, like, yo, you got to get it together, son. And not that we knew he was slipping, you know what I mean? But it's just, he's just one of those artists that's so dope to me. Where in the beginning, I don't think a lot of people did like him because he wasn't the traditional gospel artist. But over time, it was just like, yo, this boy is doing his thing. You know, you couldn't help but to join in and start liking his stuff. So Kirk definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me.
All right. And another dope thing about Kirk that I always give him props for, because one of my beefs with gospel music, and that's another thing. After we done with these Desert Island joints, we're gonna clear up some stuff now that we're being seen. Because I got people talking about, you don't like Anthony Hamilton. I'm getting so much hate on Twitter right now.
You don't.
Nope. We're gonna break all this down tonight. But one of the things that I love about Kirk, and I want to make sure I'm saying this right before y'all say he don't even like gospel music. The thing, my beef with a lot of gospel artists is that, to me, they don't tell their story through their music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got every Fred Hammond album. I don't know nothing about Fred. I just know he loved God. And I think one of the reasons why hip hop always connects with the youth is because they tell you their story. Like, Jay-Z's going to tell you, I ain't have no pop growing up, and I sold drugs, and I did this. So it's a way to connect. What I love about Kirk is that he talks about his problems and his addictions in his music. You know what I mean? So you hear it. And I believe in when you're hearing things, you know, that's how people connect with you. So just one of my shout outs to Kirk for
That's the problem, because I mean that's what I'm hearing in this. Like, well, he don't tell me his story. If you go to the Fred Hammond concert, before he sings the song, he will testify and tell you what inspired him to do the song. So you just want to be nosy. This ain't TMZ. Kirk Franklin ain't going to find out what's going on in his life. You're going to cut it out today. We're not going to do. They are.
This is the problem, though. Why not testify on your album so I can hear it?
They do testify on that album, but
They
do. Gospel music is not rap music, and again, because you said you didn't go to church until later, that's the part that where you're not connecting. Their songs are their testimony. So when Fred Hammond sings, he lives in me. When he's singing the song, if you listen to the lyrics, he's telling you what's going on inside of him. Kirk Franklin, he did come with a different angle, the more hip hop angle to get the younger people. So that's what attracts you. Gospel artists do tell their story. That's a misconception. They do tell their story. They're just not going to tell it the way that appeals to you. So that's why there's a whole lot of them, just like there's a whole lot of R&B artists. Just like Anthony Hamilton don't appeal to you, but I don't judge you and I don't say nothing about that. You know, I mean, come on.
We're going to judge this Anthony Hamilton stuff tonight. But nah, you got a good point. You got a point. What I'm saying is this, is you're right. I don't hear it. Because here's my thing. And again, that's why I think a lot of folk don't gravitate to gospel music like that. And I mean, I don't want to go too deep on this. We could do a show on this. But what I mean by that is like with Donnie McKirkland, I didn't find about his struggle with homosexuality until I watched the documentary on him. Now, I've listened to Donnie's music, but I mean, is it wrong for me to think, yo, you should talk about that? Maybe it is. Maybe in the gospel world, that's not the place to do it. But that's why I was one of the few people who liked R. Kelly's album, You Saved Me, so much, because in it, he's talking about maybe not even his personal struggles, but just how prayer helps in everyday circumstances. So when I listen to R. Kelly's You Saved Me album, yeah, I hear that different from Fred Hammond's album. But again, that's just me. We could do another show on that. But that's why
you're the only person that I've ever, like, I'm not judging you, but you're the only person that I've ever heard say anything like that. I'm being really honest, because I know people who are into gospel music and they got into gospel music and they understand the messages behind it. But you want more of a storyline, and that's cool. You want the backstory, you want to know what got them there, whatever, that's cool. But that's interesting, because I've never heard anybody say that. But we're going to do a show on it. We will.
Oh, and you have to.
Mm-hmm. But JR can't have the red cup with him when we do the show. I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, I don't never do.
JR doesn't got no red cup, no nothing. He got on the button up, too. So we going to be straight on that.
And it be buttoned all the way to the top, too. You right.
All right, JR, what's your next joint?
I'm going to go with the Portrait of a Legend, the greatest hits of Sam Cooke. I got to throw that on there because, first of all, it just gives me a vibe of my grandfather. That's number one. Number two, I'm getting some country on there. I'm getting some soul on there. And I'm getting some pop on there, too. So it's like, and I'm getting some gospel because he used to be with the Soul Stir. So I'm definitely getting some gospel on there. So I got to throw that in there. Like, and he's one of my favorite artists. So I have to, if I'm stranded somewhere, Sam Cooke, that album has to be with me, period. So, yeah.
All right, no doubt. That's dope. Next joint I got up, Mary's My Life album. Love that album to death. I think it's probably the dopest R&B album of the entire decade of the 90s.
And for people watching, no new album can be, compared to this. Just want the people to know.
Yeah, I mean, My Life, man. I remember.
After that, though, did he start pouting? He was like,
"Oh no, because that's my number one." Because I'm gonna go in on that, but Kill got the little.
Not now, Kill. It's your turn, baby. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kay. Kay still in church mode. All right, the thing about Mary's and Kay, I was just gonna say from us being at Morgan, that was back when you would get the albums where they dropped or whatever like that, and I was just listening to it, man. And I just remember hearing My Life and just being like floored. You know what I mean? And This is 94, and I'm talking 94. I'm in nothing but 100% hip hop mode. I don't hear nothing. If it ain't Wu-Tang or if it ain't something crazy, yo, my life stopped me in my tracks. Hearing that song, My Life, and the way they freaked the Warriors joined, it was just, and what she was saying, yo, I was just like, yo, this is dope. And then the album is just perfect, man. Like, you hear Mary giving you your all. Like, this is like that ball. This is like Kobe dropping that 60. Like, this is like you are leaving you would have thought this was Mary's last album. She left everything on the floor. There was nothing left to be said or done. The production was bonkers. Chucky Thompson just destroyed this production. And it's crazy because JR, me and you was just talking about, because Drake just sampled Mary's joint off of here. And I was just like,
that was back.
Yeah, I'm listening to the song, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, the only reason why I'm really feeling this is because I really want to hear the Mary. You know what I mean? But I got a whole nother philosophy on the show that we got to do about that stuff, because the thing that I'm realizing is for a lot of these younger producers is, you know, when we think about sampling, we think about that, and I first heard it when Kendrick came out with Good Kid, Mad City, and he sampled Janice Anytime, Any Place. And a lot of hip hop heads had beef with that. Like, yo, how you just gonna sample Janice Anytime, Any Place? But I'm like, keep in mind, Anytime, Any Place came out in 97. You know, so this song is almost 15 years old. What you said? It didn't come out in 97?
Came out in 93. 93.
Anytime. I was out of college when that song came out. And I got out of
y'all both tell I'm a Janet fan. That's what y'all not gonna do. 1993.
Okay.
No, you know what? You're right, because it was off the Janet album, right?
Yep.
My bad. You're right. I was thinking it was off Bella Road. JR is right. That's my bad, JR. You know, you got that one. So it's 93. So it kind of proves my point even more. And what I'm saying is that it's kind of always been that thing about what it is we're getting old. That's the moral to the story. Because I remember when my parents would hear, you know, Bring the Noise, or they would hear all the James Brown stuff that they sampled, and our parents were just like, oh man, that ain't nothing but, you know, Soul Pants, and that's nothing but James doing this, and you know what I mean? And that's why they didn't like hip hop at first, you know. So now we're just at that age where these younger kids are sampling joints, because if it came out in 93 and Good Kid, Mad City came out in 2015, what's that, 22 years? So if we're saying, hey, you can't sample nothing, you got to have at least 20 years, well, they're doing that, you know. And the same thing with this Mary joint that, you know, this came out in 94. So it's the same thing. So using Mary joint for somebody young isn't that bad. And the funny thing about hip hop is we forget Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full that came out in 1987 sampled Dennis Edwards' Can't Look No Further. It just came out in 85. So don't act like we grew up on wasn't being sampled just 3 years after the single came out. You know, so I just attributed to we're getting old. So when we start hearing samples, you know, with hip hop has always been, it's got to be something obscure. It's got to be something nobody ever heard before. But I just think we're getting older. You know, somebody was probably listening to Mary's joint, was like, yo, that's kind of dope. Yo, let me sample it for Drake. And that's what happened, you know. So, but JR, you want to go into My Life for a little bit since we already talking about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that definitely had to be on my list for sure, because it's my favorite album of all time, period. And I call it a musical heaven for 62 minutes, from 1 to 17. I'm there with her. I'm with that vibe. It's just amazing, man. Like, it's just, and then, you know, she give you a little bit of a little hip hop on I Love You, kind of that beat. And then every time I think about some of the songs on the album, I also think about the remixes. So you think about, you know what I'm saying, Mary Jane All Night with LL, and you think about I'm Going Down with Mr. Cheeks, and you think about all that. So it's like a lot of these joints is like, even though I got the album, I can still like spit a verse of LL on All Night Long. So I'm like, that album just gotta be there. And I'm like, if I'm on the desert album, I'm not gonna have Mary My Life. I'm bugging. So that had to be there. And then I'm gonna have my bottle on the side too, because she damn sure gonna take you through all these damn emotions. So I'm gonna have my bottle to the side, and me and Mary gonna be in that spot. So I'm be in her world. So yeah, that's dope. And the funny thing that you bring up the remixes, that's dope, because my favorite joint was a Smith & Wesson remix with I Love You with the eye shot. Of course.
I like Yo, that was just bonkers. And then there was a joint on here. I forgot which joint it was, but Lauren was on one of the remixes.
Talking about Be With You. Yep.
Be With You. Lauren was on there, and Lauren killed that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and that's one of them hard joints. I still can't find it. Is that I find it on YouTube, or I've got like, you know, not good versions of it, but I can't get that clear, crystal clear copy of it.
Right.
But shit, that joint. So yeah, that joint was just crazy. Kay, I know you're a big Mary fan. What's your thoughts on My Life?
I do like My Life, but I wasn't going to take it with me on the island.
Okay.
I do. I do think that was it wasn't just a Mary best, it was a Puff best. Like, he could not do anything better than that after that CD. Like, I mean, the whole team captured all her emotions at that time. And you figure around that time, that's when Mary was really like, Mary showing up high. Mary coming to the show with her hair busted. You look at that, the CD cover, her nails ain't even filled in. I mean, that's something maybe. And her nails, you just looking like, yo, Mary is really getting high right now. I mean, like, seriously, that was the first thing I noticed. Like, you know, like you said, we was in college, Kill. You got, like, you know, you got the CD ahead of time. I think Kira or JP or somebody gave it to me, like, and we had the tape and we was bumping it in the car, like, oh, this joint is tight. And then the CD dropped, and my homegirl was working at this record store, and she gave me the CD, and I was like, yo, what's up with Mary's nails? This chick is really getting hot. And you know, like, it just captured all her raw emotion. Because we all see that she doesn't have a great voice, but the way that she sang those songs, and it made it cool to, like, for dudes to be in the car rocking to My Life. And not look like, yo, they in there listening to, like, a slow music, you know. It's like, yo, that's Mary, you know. She rocked. That CD is definitely dope, but she wasn't going with me on the island, because I'm not slitting my wrist alone on the island. Are you kidding me?
First, you see, I was rocking to you till you got there. Really?
It gonna make you want to slit your wrist. I'm saying, My Life is crying, like, what, like that, you know.
But she ended it when you want to be happy.
She didn't really want to be happy. You hear the pain in her voice when she sang. The dream was dope with Keith Murray, though. Like, yeah. But, like, you hear the pain in her voice.
Was like, yo, I need an L.
When you listen to the lyrics of Be Happy, you really hear, like, yo, this chick was really going through something. And, I mean, it reminded me when I heard the song of, like, Michael Jackson and how he was always searching for something. And then now we have Little Kim, who is just, oh my God, she has all of us just wondering and disappointed right now, just like trying to figure out if somebody could have intervened. But Mary's song captured all those emotions and Be Happy. Like, you rock to it, but it was like, yo, this song is really deep. So that's my 2 cents right there.
I got you.
All right, Kay, so what you got up next?
Oh, you know, I was not going on the island without my boo going with me, Bobby Brown.
I'm going to assume you're talking Don't Be Cruel.
Yes, I am. Me and badass Bobby Brown. Y'all know I love Bobby, damn it. So, I told y'all Bobby told me he loved me when I saw him at the concert. Did I tell y'all that? So he came out. No, I'm gonna tell you the story. So they came out and they were doing the whole little dance, you know. So everybody looking like, damn, Bobby ain't show up again. So this was like right after Whitney died, and so everybody's kind of like, is he high or is he, you know, mourning? Is he with his daughter? So then they danced and all of that, and Ralph was like, yo, you know we can't do this without my man coming out. Let me tell y'all, I was in like row 7 on the main floor. I ran to the front. The security guard like really had to grab me, like, ma'am, where you going? Because, yo, I used to be a tomboy. I was about to hop over that barricade. Dude, on the stage. What? And he came out. So he was like, y'all know my name. Everybody was like, badass ass Bobby Brown. So I was like, I love you, Bobby. And what? He looked down at me right there in that corner and he said, and I love you back. Baby, let me tell you something. I mean, I'm going to tell you that now. So, that's all anyway. I'm going to say, don't be cruel with me. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. I'm done now.
Yo, the funny thing is, I never knew. You talk about what's my name, Badass Bobby. I had no idea that's what y'all call the boy.
Yes, Badass Bobby Brown. Don't call him a boy kill. He's a man, and I don't like that.
I said bull. It's a Philly phrase for like a guy.
Okay, I don't know, because you a little disrespectful sometimes when it comes to Bobby. But yeah, don't be cool.
Disrespect Bob. The joke is I would be Bobby Brown because I'm like, I could never be in no boy group because I don't want to be doing the same dance as y'all doing. So I always related to Bobby just going off doing his own thing. So Bob is probably my favorite dude out of New Edition.
And so I would take that because I mean that CD was so dope. You know, the CD before that, he had like Girlfriend on it and it was cute. You know, it was kind of like his breakout. He still kind of had that New Edition sound. But this one right here, he came straight out the gate with it. And Kill, you can relate. You was in high school. I was in high school at that time. You was playing this on the tape in the back when you was talking to your boyfriend or girlfriend on the phone at night because you wanted them to hear that you Don't make it seem like I was fresh. I wasn't. But I did play the little joints in the background.
Yo is feeling it with this.
Yo, Bob got her. She having a great moment.
Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown literally is probably one of my most favorite artists, and I don't think it's so much because of his singing ability or whatever, but it was just like, to me he was always that background dude that they was playing, and then when he came out the gate, he came out with it. I mean, like I said, the first CD was kind of, the Girl Next Door song. He was looking like Larry Blackman from Cameo. I was like, oh, don't do that. When he came out with the next joint, the whole little suit, the mock turtleneck, he had everybody walking around looking like that. The Gumby, I mean, Bobby was just killing it. And I like the way he came out the gate and crushed them. And I was like, told y'all, don't sleep on the underdog. So that's why me and Bobby is always, had a little something going. Go ahead.
Nah, and I ain't never have no beef with Bob. I thought Bob was that nigga, because he, to me, broke away from that candy girl type persona. You know what I mean? When he came out with Don't Be Cruel, them drums, just the intro, them drums had me, My Prerogative, this was the original, Kiss My Ass song. Look, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what y'all think about me, how I'm supposed to act. This is Bob. You either love it. He was Allen Iverson before there was Allen Iverson. He was the Allen Iverson of R&B. And I was like, this is my style. This is my stage. I remember the video for Roni when he pulled the shorty on stage. You know what I mean? Had the little grind session going on, every little step. And then
that was the remix. That became the remix. When he pulled a girl on the stage. That's when you had remixes, live versions, their album version. It was like,
yes.
The Rock With You remix, the Rock With You, the video version. That was crazy. And when Bob came out with the Ghostbusters song, this dude had a song on the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
And that joint was ill.
You a bad dude when you can make a song. Because this is about to happen. I seen this, and I think Nas is making a song for the new Ghostbusters. Because I seen something with him with the Ghostbusters outfit on, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if Nas can make no dope song for no Ghostbusters movie. But Bob could do it. Bob did it and killed it. Because that Ghostbusters joint, what's the name that came?
On our own.
Yeah, on our own.
Oh, man.
You
talking
about right there, yo.
Listen to the song, and then you was like, then you listen to it like he's singing about Ghostbusters. Like, Ghostbusters? Really? But it was a dope song.
Yeah. Bob was that dude, man. Bob was that dude. All right, JR, what you got up next?
Kill, we did a joint on this, and I had to put that on there. The Velvet Rope by Janet Jackson. Had to throw that on there for me. That's for me. It just
CD on an island by yourself. You nasty all the time.
No. See, you going that way. That's the end of the album. I'm talking about the beginning. Chill. Wait. Hey, I knew you was gonna bring something freaky on.
I knew it.
Wait a minute. Come on, Miss Bobby Brown. Come on now. And you want to listen to that album? You want to talk about me on the island? Get out of here. You don't want to rock with you, and you want to put that on the island? Get out of here. I do because, I mean, you know, I'm on the island, I'm chilling. That's the album I vibe to, man. They make you feel good about yourself, to be honest with you. So, you know, I get Together Again, you know, that's a really, you know, kind of song for me that kind of hits home, because the song she made it about is about God dying from AIDS. And that's what my brother died from. So, you know, that kind of hits home. So, you know, I'm there. And she didn't make it sad. She made it happy so you can dance and vibe to it. So with that song, I can vibe out to it. Then, you know, she got To Is Gone, so I'm getting another part of Tribe with Q-Tip on there. So that's dope. She giving, you know, you got a rock song on there, so I'm getting a little bit of the rock genre on there with What About. And then just that album is dope, just from beginning to end. Like I said on the podcast, Kill, that album at 11 changed my life, so I had to throw that in there. So Velvet Rope by Jan, I had to throw that in. I want to think about the nasty songs, Kay. Thanks a lot. But dope album though, dope.
Nah, you ain't never lied, bro. Velvet Rope is a dope album. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, I think a lot of hip hop people, a lot of hip hop dudes never really gave Janet a chance. You know what I'm saying? And just during that time, my girlfriend at the time was
gave Janet a chance. I'm just saying.
Pow, 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 pow. That was.
But like I was saying, my girlfriend at the time like really loved R&B, and I think being with her kind of gave me so much more love for it. Because I wouldn't hold you, I probably wouldn't have listened to none of these Janet albums, you know, if it wasn't for her or whatever like that. But Velvet
Shout
Rope,
out to Speaker that you mentioned the other week.
Nah, it wasn't. But all that to just say is that this is an incredible album. I know so many people who, you know, to be honest with you, it's shocking how many people who actually don't even think I don't listen to nothing but hip hop. You know what I mean? But then they're shocked when I listen to so much other stuff, and they're shocked that I do an R&B podcast, because they're just like, I would have thought all you do is listen to hip hop. But Velvet Rope is an incredibly dope album from beginning to end. I remember hearing God Till It's Gone. The first time I heard it, and Dilla, just hearing the beat and hearing Tip and the Joni Mitchell and the I Get So Lonely, remix with Blackstreet. Both Burn is crazy. What you saying, Kay?
I said no, yes. I was like yes, because I like the CD too. I like the song, yes.
Yeah. So Velvet Rope is a crazy dope album. The next joint I got up, I'm gonna go with Smith & Wesson's The Shining. This joint right here, kind of just like with what Kay was saying about Strictly Business, and I was saying about PE. That's my 80s hip hop. This is my 90s, 94 Morgan State. Niggas rocking camo and fatigues, and this album, the first time I heard Bucktown, it was crazy. I don't know if you remember, they came down for I Love Morgan Day, and they were performing, and that's just when Black Moon was out and Helter Skelter was there. I'm one of the few people who I enjoyed Boot Camp Click better than the Wu-Tang. I'm not taking nothing away from Wu-Tang, but for me,
I heard that before.
I enjoyed Boot Camp Click better than Wu-Tang. I just like their whole style. I like their steez. So definitely The Shining definitely got to come with me. Kay, what you got up for your last joint?
Oh, this is my last joint. I had like 3 more. So
I have some extras, so it's all good.
So the next one that JR, you not gonna have no more, because that's when you turn freaky. When we kill always be like, "What's your last one?" You just go all the way in, like, yeah.
You know what he gonna do, Kane? He gonna hit you with the intro joint with Come Inside on. That's how
even though, wait a minute, but even though that album is on my list, though.
I knew it.
It was gonna happen. And he's gonna try to set off the Ribbon in the Sky and act like Come Inside wasn't the 9 minute version on there.
First of all,
he started with Ribbon in the Sky and Stevie Wonder and all the dope stuff.
One of a kind
over the 9-minute version of Come Inside.
I'm not liking this. Y'all making me seem like the biggest freak ever. That's what y'all not gonna do.
Yourself look like the biggest freak ever. That's what I'm trying to say.
You were the one who were naming all the songs. Even Bezo, you shocked Bezo. You shocked Bezo. Damn, like if you shocked Bezo and you named so many freaky songs, bro, that's on you, man.
Bezo was giving his confessions, and then he was just like, "Yo, this dude just said song number 65. That was freaky." I was like,
Yo, that's like when you smoking with a person and they like, yo, you still hitting that blunt, dog? Like, yo, you are like, yo, if you got beat, like, yo, another freaky song, yeah, JR, you did that with
all right, let me get it together. So, I picked something from the Morgan days too. And I think my neighbors probably hate this freaking CD because I rock this joint. When I'm leaving out in the morning at like 6:45, this joint is probably booming to wake me up in the morning when I'm driving to work. I picked the Lost Boys, and of course, I had to go with Legal Drug Money.
Come on.
It's just like, yo, when I get in the car, Lex Coop's Beamers and the Benz is the first thing that my neighbors hear in the morning.
Come on.
When they see me when I come home, I rock that joint just to piss them off again. But that joint right there is that was a time when rap music, everything was so fly. Like you just had these dudes that was from the corner. Like they just looked like they just came in the park. Like that's how videos were back in the days. I remember going to like videos like Hev would do videos or whatever, and they'd be like, everybody come to the park. That's how their videos were. Like, yo, everybody come to the park. You riding down the street in a car. You could be in an Accord, like, and everybody just in the Accord, like, yo, rocking, whatever, like.
Yeah.
It was such a fun time for hip hop, and I kind of wish that hip hop would get back to that fun time. When I think about this time, I think about, like, Kill and I were in college together, so it's like, I'm on the bridge in that one corner where I always was, my bag on my shoulder, yelling over at people, the sun is shining, we having a good time. Kill coming through like this with the backpack, just Kill walking. It puts your mind to a time where it was just fun. And that whole CD, like I said, the Lex Coops, the Beamers, and the Benz, the Yarn, that drink was so hot. Renee, Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless is my joint. I don't know if the original or the remix is better, but they both just make me like, yo, get up. Everything about that time is so dope. So that's why I had to take that, because if I'm being on the island, I gotta party a little bit. So I guess I'm just gonna be there partying with the Lost Boys. So that's my next joint.
God, that joint was crazy. And you're right, that's nothing but the Morgan days, man. And even seeing the video for Lex Coops the Beamers, man. And it was just, like you said, it was just like a block party, and then they had them ill handshakes and everything. And, I remember, and then everybody, and it's so funny because there was always little spurts of Morgan, I remember, where like, when Naughty was big, then all the Jersey niggas was like with they chest out, you know what I mean? And then like when the Lost Boys came out, then everybody for Queens was like fucking Queen, like it was like the cute, it was like yo Queens across your chest, like and then when Black Moon and it was Brooklyn, it was like I miss those days of like and I remember everybody from Queens, all my niggas just being like Lost Boys, Queens, everything like that. So. Definitely a dope joint. And then Freaky Side, God bless the dead, his ad-libs, man. Like that thing was like the perfect hype man. Like without him, if if you try to say a Lost Boy song without his ad libs, it don't even mix.
It don't
like,
feel right.
Exactly.
It's part of the song. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why, like, a lot of Cheek's solo stuff wasn't that great, because it was like, oh yeah, this is good as Cheeks, but I think what a lot of people forgot is that he always had Freaky Ty just coming in with the ad lib in the back. He was the perfect hype man. So when you hear Cheeks, you expect to hear Freaky Ty. And when you hear something that Cheeks is just rapping alone, you kind of like, what, Ty sipping water in the corner right now? Like, is Ty hitting the corner? Where he at? You know, you need that voice to come through. And I mean, like you said, Kill, they put Queens on the map. Like, I didn't know nobody was from Southside Jamaica, Queens. Swear to goodness. Like, then all of a sudden, like, I just knew, like, all right, Jamaica. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, Southside. I'm like, okay. Like, and then you think about when he was in school, Kill, that's how, like, the bridge was. Everybody came through with their whips, popping the music like that. So that video, JR literally was like an average day at school when it was hot outside.
Yeah.
People ride up the hill, which they blocked off, and you can't ride up there no more. You ride up the hill, pull up in front of Cummings, Baldwin, and the music is banging. You pull up in McKeldin, everybody on the bridge, they screaming down to you. You ain't got no car. You like, yo, you want to give me a ride home? Like, you know, and the music is popping. It was that vibe right there. So I gotta take that with me. I got to.
Yeah. And you're right. It's just like you said, I'm representing putting Queens on the map. Because after that, you had Mike Geronimo, you had Royal Flush, you had like this whole influx of cats from Flushing. So it wasn't just Queensbridge and Jamaica. You know, because Tribe, you knew about Jamaica. You know what I mean? Now you knew about Bridge, but like you said, now you hear Southside, now you hear Flushing, you hear the Wastelands and all that stuff. So you're right, them dudes really did open the door for Queens. So JR, what's your next joint?
That was pretty. You know, he was licking the lips, he was in love, he was all of that. Dudes wasn't feeling L. The chicks was. He was like, dude,
yeah.
You go to Black Expo and they don't all look like LL, and you're like, damn, I can't believe this. But then these grimy dudes came out, and it was like, yo, really? That didn't sound right. Go ahead, Jay.
It did. But yo, let me say this about L. The thing I loved about L is he always rode that line. He always gave the chicks a song, but then he always gave the dudes a song. So you got the Hey Lover, but then you got I Got You. You know, and that's what I always liked about L, is that he kept both people happy. It wasn't like, I'm gonna just give you a whole song, whole album of just joints for the chicks. It's like, even if I give you 80% for the chicks, the 20% I'm gonna give the dudes is gonna be crazy. You know, it's gonna be something crazy. So
JR, before you go, like you just mentioned that, like LL always gave something for the dudes and the chicks. I think LL took what Kane was trying to do and he did it better. Because remember when Kane came out, that dude was hard. He was the drug selling cute dude that, you know, your parents ain't want you around. His lyrics was ill, but he also danced in videos, and it was like, yo, this dude can dance and he's spitting like this. But then he went smooth, and he went too smooth, and he couldn't redeem himself. You know, like he had the joint with Patti LaBelle, then he was in Playboy and, you know, the Playboy magazine, all of that. But you had LL, who was kind of like on that same level, but he was from Queens, Kane's from Brooklyn, and he came through, and he was hard in the beginning. Remember Dear Yvette, all of those songs, Radio. Then when he went to the smooth side, he always left something for the dude. Like, I think he took what Kane tried to do, but he did it better, and that contributed to his staying power.
Yeah, the other thing that I was gonna say about that is because a lot of people don't realize Kane was the original Jay-Z. Kane tried to give you Jay-Z a couple of years too early. You know what I mean? Because if you remember the Dope First video, Kane had the button up on with the bottle of champagne, and we all looking like, yo, why you wearing what's up with champagne? You know, you supposed to have a 40. You know what I mean? And that's where Jay eventually, you know, where Jay went to. And the thing that I had to realize, Kay, and I don't know if you ever peeped this, is that when I was growing up, I always thought these dudes was our age. So I thought Kane is 16. So when I'm 16, Kane really 21. So this dude is older than us. So for them, it's also like, yo, Kane was probably on some grown man shit by then. Like, yo, I'm tired of wearing sweatsuits and sneakers. Like, let me step up my style. But you know, the whole joke with Pooba got to be 65 right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
These rappers were older than us, and I always just looked at them as peers. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until later in life that I'm like, oh wow, Kane is 48. Like, wow, like I didn't realize Kane is 6 years older than me. I always looked at this dude as he was my age. So that's the thing. And then too with L, I think L tried to go too left because it came to a point where L was every other album with me. Like after Bad with Walking with a Panther, that's when he really went too far off the deep end. That's when he went to like I Need Love was good, like one, but then he just went left and just came with like 8 jams off the album, you know. And then we had to get with Marley to come back when Mama Said Knock You Out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a 5 mic album. That is L at his best. That's L at his hungriest, booming system, Around the Way Girl.
He talk about it. That he did. He talks about that moment when that CD came out. You know, he lost it all. The girl, the kids. He talks about Simone dating another dude in the industry who he was like, yo, they was taking my kids to Great Adventure. And it was funny to me because I'm like, yo, we go to Great Adventure. And he was like, yo, they was taking my kids to Great Adventure. I'm in my grandma's basement all over again. And he was hungry and he crushed it. But they don't have that hunger no more, I think. Nobody's hungry anymore in the rap game, which is why some of their stuff is so watered down and corny. Nobody's hungry enough to one up the next person. Like, I'm not like, yo, JR's hot, but I'm going to one up him. I'm hungry. I got to get out there. Like, you mentioned LL with the, what was it? Who Shot You? Did you mention that? When they did the, no, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When him remixed it.
That was with Mr. Smith.
But I'm saying, like, the hunger. He bodied Cannabis. Like, Cannabis came on and tried to best him, and he was like, yo, this is my song. Let me go back in there and rock. When you think about it, DMX was the dopest one on there. Master P was kind of hot on that joint too, but DMX was rocking on that joint. But there's no hunger like that. So, JR, it's on you, yellow glasses and red cup.
Yo, I just love hearing y'all talk about y'all Morgan days. Like, it's so dope. Like, just to see the vibe. Like, I'll be in it. Like, that's why I'm quiet when y'all be back and forth with it. Like, I'm in it.
The funny thing is, JR, before we come to you, I gotta say something too, Kay. And the thing that you said about him losing it all, the song Cheesy Rap Blues off of Mama Said Knock You Out. That's actually probably my favorite L song. You know what I mean? And people always love when I say that, but yo, Cheesy Rap Blues, that beat is crazy. And just hearing his story, like, and L was so, like you said, hungry for that joint. But this is also when we got back into the every other album, because then he came out with 14 Shots to the Dome, which was whack. So, you know, I kind of just started looking at L like every other album is going to be dope with L. But like you said, the funny thing about
taking his shirt off and it just, bless God, hallelujah, yes. Mm-hmm.
JR, this is where you get it twisted. I'm talking about Shirley Murdoch. She talking about LL with his shirt off and talking about hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Y'all don't give her hell for nothing. I'm the only person who knows the way to hell, right? I'm the only one on this show who know the way to hell. But that's cool. That's cool.
No, you ain't.
I didn't diss Kirk Franklin for LL. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't diss no Shirley Murdoch for no. She didn't diss Shirley Caesar for Shirley Murdoch.
That's cool. I'm just making a note. Notate, duly noted. That's all. That's all I'm doing is duly noted. Then cool. That's all. That is always just me going by myself. I literally can make sound bites of all the shows with y'all too, and I'm going to hell. But that's okay. It's cool. Yeah. What's your next one?
Why you gonna play us like that though?
Play y'all, dog. I literally can come up with sound bites from every episode of Kay talking about Hold My Mule. You talking about I ain't going with him. So neither here nor there. JR, what's your next one? What's your next joint?
Oh, mine. I said you already said it. It was on my list. Intro is definitely on my list. It was on my list. I don't care. Like it was on my list, and it was not for all the Freaky songs.
Bro, I knew it was on your list. I mean, I knew it. We knew it together.
First of all, technically it's not because y'all said 5. This is a couple of bonuses.
Your bonus, what did I say, Kill? His bonus joint is always super freaky. Always.
First of all, that album ain't all freaky. They got one song that's mad freaky. It's Come Inside. That's it. That's it. Everything else is about love, and that's it. That's it.
Cool. You ain't got to convince us. Go ahead. Say your
Go ahead. Talk about your album.
Go ahead.
I think that album is dope. I think it's a dope album. Kenny Green is so underrated as a writer. Like, the dude is dope. He can sing his butt off. Like, and then even Stevie Wonder gave him the thumbs up for being in the video for Ribbon in the Sky. I think that is one of the dopest cover songs. The way they did it, it was just dope. I just like it from the break because it's so hip hop and it's still R&B. Like, they, you know, with Love Thing, they used the brand Nubian joint. Then, you know, Let Me Be the One. Like, that's dope. Then Anything for You. It's just, the whole album is completely dope. But
you want to mention Come Inside. Your eyes is dancing. Say it. And then
to talk about Come Inside.
Y'all are not going to let me live this down. Yo, I can't deal with y'all. Y'all not going to let me live this down. I ain't even talk about Come Inside.
Okay, you know who JR is? He the dude who would be playing ball in the park, and then he lose, and then he be like, "Give me my ball back. I don't get the ball." Because you talk about you ain't living this down, dog. Y'all don't let me live nothing down, bruh. It'll be episode 258, and we'll still be talking about Shirley Caesar versus Shirley Murray. So you be like, we don't let you live nothing down, bro. Those is house rules here, man.
You right. Y'all right. Since y'all gonna bring it up, yes, I gotta talk about Come Inside. That song is dope. It's a dope record, and yeah, it's freaky, and I don't care. Judge me all you want to, but that's a banging song.
I'm not judging you. I love the song.
What happened?
Judgment free. I'm not judging anybody here.
I think Come Inside is one of the dopest songs of the 90s, bro.
Oh, well, thank y'all. At least y'all know. At least y'all saying it's dope. Y'all can get on me as being it freaky or whatever, but it's dope record. But that's the only freaky song on the album, for real. So yeah, I had to do.
Real hard when you mentioned that one, but it ain't none of my business.
I ain't do bad things with that song, not that one.
Well, dog, you like 5 when it came out. I hope you wasn't doing nothing bad with that song.
First of all, y'all not gonna keep coming at me about my little young age. That's what y'all not gonna do.
All right, JR, how old were you when the album came out?
You right.
So I know you ain't do nothing bad.
I was seven.
You were 7. See, I know you didn't do that.
Yeah, I was 7, but it's crazy. My mommy let me listen to that, but I was listening to Snoop Dogg. I knew Snoop. Doggy Style is my shit.
Yo, when Mom Dukes comes down to visit you, hit us up. We all hanging out with moms because I got so many jokes with her about you. It's crazy. So
yeah, she already know too. All
right, so my last joint is I'm going with something from the 2000s. Outkast, Aquemini, probably my favorite Outkast album. You got Return of the G, Rosa Parks, Skewed on a Barbecue, Spodioti, The Art of Storytelling with Slick Rick. Just one of the few albums that I actually had the instrumentals of this on my iTunes. So one of the albums that I just think is incredibly produced. My personal favorite Outkast joint. So that's it for me. Kay, you got some extra joints for you?
Oh, of course I do. So, gotta give a shout out to them dudes from Westchester, Brand Nubian, the All for One CD. That was my first year at Morgan. I actually came down that summer. So I hung with all these chicks from Jersey, and everybody from Jersey was trying to act like all these rappers that moved to Jersey and bought houses was from Jersey. And I'm like, you bugging, these people ain't from Jersey. You know, they like, oh, Busy's from Jersey. This one is from Jersey. I'm like, man, listen, y'all the Indians, we the Pilgrims. We came and took your land. Stop playing. So when this joint came out, it was amazing to me that so many of them didn't know who Pooh Bah really was. You know, they just knew Brand New Pooh Bah. So I'm like, y'all never heard of Masters of Ceremony, you know, like that, and then they like, what? And I'm like, y'all don't know who Grand Poobah is? Like, I was blown. But me and my god sister, when this joint came out, we was in front of the train station on 219th Street, and we bought one of the bootleg tape from the dude on the corner for $5.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We rocked that joint in the car. I mean, like, you know, my mother let me drive to school because it dropped, you know, right before I graduated. So she let me drive to school. We got this joint in the tape deck, leaning, like, yeah, like, no, like, just. That joint was so official to me. That one always is one of, like, to me, the brand Nubian best. They never could get that sound back. And that's one, that's so dope. The next one, of course, is my girl, Faith Evans, Faithfully. That is just, that's my joint for so many reasons. That right there, I think, to me, was like Puff's version of My Life for Faith. Because that was a best that he can't get back. He can't get back. Like, My Life was a best that he did with Mary. This is a best that he did with Faith. He can't get that back. He cannot. The first CD was dope, JR, but
the look on JR's face is priceless right now. JR,
and I can say what I want to, JR. How about that?
I ain't even say nothing. I'm just looking.
To me, that was a Faith best. To me, that was the best joint that they ever rocked together. Whatever, JR. So, the next joint I got, of course, is my girl, Selena Johnson, Chapter 2, The Voice.
Talk about it.
Joint is so official.
Yes, it is.
So official. I can't say so enough times.
Yes.
Like, that chick blows it away. And I'm a Selena Johnson fan. I have listened to other CDs. I listened to the first joint, which was really slow, and I was just like, yo, this chick can blow. And I rocks with her, and I got two more that I'm gonna rock with. So I gotta shout out my man Dave Hollister, because he gotta ride with me on this island. I gotta take Baby Mama Drama in Chicago '85. That's what I'm gonna tell you right there.
Yeah.
I gotta take them with me. And if I gotta take some old school, well, not really old school, but some 80s R&B, I gotta take the best of Loose Ends with me.
Right. Oh, Loose Ends. Yeah.
To me, like, I think we did a show on Underrated, and we kind of touched on Loose Ends. JP was on that show. They are the most underrated group ever. They definitely rocked, and so they definitely get some love for me, and I gotta take them with me.
All right. JR, you got any extra joints?
I just got two. I got Interventions by Stevie. And I got What's Going On by Marvin. Those are my two. I gotta throw those two in there. So it had to be a bonus because I didn't have Stevie in my top, so I had to throw Stevie in there. Gotta have Stevie in there. What's Going On? I gotta throw that in there too. So
depressed as hell on that island listening to What's Going On. That's what I'm telling you. No, that's my favorite CD too. Like, yo, that's so dope to me. You know I love Marvin, but you on that island by yourself listening to that?
Right, I done got My Life, I got The Velvet Rope, and I got What's Going On. Yo, I'm gonna be all in my feelings.
You gonna be on that island by yourself with that fermented fruit, drunk as hell.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, with that, I'm having those, and I'm having my Bible, and I'm getting me a fifth of vodka, and I'm good. I'm good.
Yo, I love the combinations that you are putting together. You put them together, come inside the Bible and vodka. That's a wonderful combination right there. There's nothing better than coming inside vodka and Bible. That's it right there, JR. You are good to go. No. My last joint is gonna probably shock every freaking body watching this. Black and White America, Lenny Kravitz. Number one, I'm a huge Lenny Kravitz dude. Ever since I heard Mama Said, which some folk confuse with Mama Said Knock You Out, two totally different albums. Mama Said was about Lenny crying out to try to get Lisa Bonet back. After he was married to Lisa, he was banging Madonna when he did Justify My Love for Her. Lisa found out. Mama said the whole album is him begging to get Lisa back. You talk about Mary leaving it all on the table. Lenny left everything in that studio trying to get his woman back. And I've been a fan ever since. But Black and White America, this joint to me just, it's 5 mics. It's perfect. JR, you talking about rock, hip hop, everything. Jay-Z's on here. I don't even like the song Jay-Z is on like that. He don't make it any better. But this joint is dope. Very dope album. Most people haven't heard it, but I'm telling you.
Oh, that's the joint with Super Love and everything and all that on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Super dope album. He go on the island with me. He don't wear no deodorant. He don't wear deodorant.
Kane talking about me with TMZ. I don't know if the dude got the. I don't know. KB knowing all the extra stuff. I have no idea that this dude.
No deodorant.
Now I will say this too.
DiCaprio.
I'll say this too. That there's a dope documentary on the making of this album out on iTunes that cast can buy. It's incredible. This dude lives on an island in the middle of nowhere. Lives in like some trailer park, and then got like an $8 million studio right next to the trailer he live in. But it's a dope album. It shows the production of the album from beginning to end. Incredibly dope documentary. So that's it for me, man. That's it for me.
And they didn't show.
I think this was a dope show.
No deodorant and using no soap.
But she'd take Bobby though. It'd be drugged out on that aisle.
Bobby ain't used deodorant since 1994, but Bobby's there. Bobby
and his deodorant. He uses deodorant. Yes, he does.
No, she gonna be drugged
you
out
know what?
on that
Bob
island
uses
with Bobby.
deodorant and some other things too. Bob uses some other things too that'll keep y'all good on the island. It'll keep y'all, thinking about other things than just being stuck on the island. So you good. Bob does use some stuff. He got some stuff with him. He got some stuff in his bag. Y'all gonna get stopped in the airport before the plane crashes on the island. You gonna get stopped. You may not even get to the island because Bob's bag is gonna get. So you may not even be on the flight with Tom Hanks to get put on the island because they gonna stop Bob getting on the plane. So you're right. You are right about that. You are 100% right. No, JR, give them all your information,
Charlie Murdoch. That's what you do. You read the Bible.
No, yeah. And before we
I'm
go,
shocked he ain't gonna have no Shirley Murdoch with him.
Before we go,
island,
I want to clear the air. I like Anthony Hamilton. I love the dude. Okay, I don't think Anthony is a great songwriter. That's the only thing I'm saying. Great singer, subpar songwriter. That's all I'm saying. JR, the look.
So you just saying you don't like him?
No, that's two totally different things. I'm saying he's great.
Exactly. Right now, yo, like, no.
Wait a second.
So, here we go.
Yeah, you really could have.
Here's the part that kills me. So y'all can say Mary's My Life album is a 5 mic classic, but she can't really sing. But I can't say I think Anthony Hamilton is a great singer, but just an okay songwriter.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's another dope show, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Y'all can sit here and say,
absolutely right.
Yo, Mary's not a great singer, but
You're right. You're right, Carol. You're right.
You're absolutely right. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, y'all, okay. All right, bet. Okay. JR, give them all your stuff. Yo, give them all your stuff to your website, man.
Website is jrworldofsoul.com. Check me out. I be crazy on these videos, giving y'all some current R&B bangers that you should know about, and also doing some soulful videos, some throwbacks. So check out the website. Thanks to my big brother Kill, though. Respect on that one.
No doubt. AK, I don't know if you peeped like his 5th to last video. He gave us a shout out. We were the first people he shouted out.
I didn't get that far in my binge watching. Dang.
I know. Y'all were the first 2 I shouted out in the video.
said that, and I thought you was being,
Oh nah, I had to give love.
He actually gave us some love, so
Yes.
shout that out. Y'all already know what it is with me. We'll make beats for food.com, kill889 on Twitter. Chop it up with us. We're gonna get K back on Twitter. Me and JR be talking all week with a whole rack of people about music.
I work. I don't have time to be talking all day. Okay, I works.
Yeah, she give us like a 19
Shout out to Big Kane. I get the job.
But you know what about K? K give us a whole story on Facebook, and
I wasn't gonna go there, bro. I wasn't.
You don't need
But then I leave. I give my morning story and I rolls out.
Yeah,
and I leave.
It'd be like 14. It'd be like 14 pages. You don't need to come.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but it's all good. Keep it live.
At the JR house to beat his ass. I'll be back,
Y'all keep it locked. I check y'all next week. Y'all already know what it is.